This Colorado sheriff is willing to go to jail rather than enforce the proposed gun law. Weld County Sheriff Steve Reams disagrees so much with the gun bill making its way through the Colorado legislature that he's willing to go to jail rather than enforce it. He's not the only one who feels so strongly. The controversial red Colorado State Senate passed the bill Thursday by a single vote, without any Republican support, and the bill is expected to pass the House, possibly this week. With Democratic but more than half of Colorado's 64 counties officially oppose the bill. Many have even declared failure to enforce a court order to seize a person's guns could mean sheriffs being found in contempt. A judge could find. Reams says it's a sacrifice he'd be forced to make. Colorado's extreme. The push for legislation followed the death of Zach Parrish, the 29-year-old Douglas County Sheriff's deputy killed in 2017 by a man with an arsenal of weapons who authorities said had a history of bizarre behavior, including threats to police. Parrish's former boss, Sheriff Tony Spurlock, has been one of the most vocal advocates of the bill and says he believes it could have prevented Parrish's death. Democratic House. The other House sponsor is Republican Tom Sullivan. Garnett says he won't lose any sleep if Reams or another Colorado sheriff opts for jail instead of enforcement of a court order. What? Gun rights activists, and an increasing number of law enforcement leaders, say the bill goes too far. David Kopel, a constitutional law expert who has written extensively about gun policy in the United States, says he thinks the bill is generally a good idea but that he has serious reservations about how it is written in part because of outside influence. The bill allows a judge to order a person's guns to be seized before the person has a chance to appear in court. The bill does require, Kopel said, it would be difficult to prevent a nightmare scenario in which someone misuses the law to take guns away from a person they intend to target violently. The burden of proof is low preponderance. Reams said he also worries about the potential to aggravate an already volatile person by taking their weapons. In 2018, after officers showed up to seize his weapons based on a court order and Garnett dismissed concerns about the bill. He's right. Reams concede, a total of 32 counties have declared themselves Second Amendment sanctuary or preservation counties or passed similar resolutions. Most vow support. Even Douglas County, where Deputy Parrish was killed, passed a similar resolution pledging that no county resources would be used in the enforcement of the red flag law, despite Sheriff Spurlock's support for the legislation. Why? Campbell said he also believes there could be civil or even criminal liability for a defiant sheriff if they refuse to seize a weapon and that person goes on to commit a crime with it. The bill wouldn't officially come into force until next year, but El Paso County is planning to launch a legal challenge as soon as it is signed into law. In a statement, Colorado Attorney General Phil Weiser said he is confident. But Reams is steadfast.
Raindrop, truck top, top smoking, no cooking the hot pot. I keep fucking on your bitch, yeah, that.